Good morning, adventurers. I'm at the Ney Nature Center, and we're going for a day hike today. I actually have a couple of hikes planned for today. Let's get started. Alright, just getting started here. And I didn't realize this, but there's a whole bunch of old farm buildings here. This one is a stagecoach stop. This one behind me is a machine shed. And look here, this is a stagecoach stop. Stagecoaches were kind of like the taxi or the bus of the day. Transporting people and goods around. It's a dairy barn built in 1901. Wow, that's old. Awesome, 1990 by the Ney family. I guess that makes sense. I was kind of wondering where the name Ney came from. N-E-Y. It's the people that donated this land in 1990. Here's a hired hand's house. That still happens today. Farms need seasonal workers. You know, during harvest and spring for planting and stuff. You need to hire a bunch of additional people, so that was a little house where they could stay while they were working just for the, maybe a month or two. What an awesome overlook. Well, so much going on. I ain't even really gotten started yet. It is 27 degrees out here. I have a loop picked out here. It's kind of like a figure 8 loop. Just under 4 miles, about 3.88. That's what it said. It's 27 degrees. It is a beautiful day. It says partly cloudy, but it looks perfectly clear to me. It's supposed to get up to almost 40 today, but that's not until later in the afternoon. Right now it's about 8 in the morning. Just after sunrise. I slept at a campground. I camped in my car at a campground just 10-15 minutes from here. Had some breakfast, and we're out for the day. It feels much colder out here than 27. But there's a little bench on the side of the trail here with an overlook. Check this out. So this place is located, like I said, next to Henderson, Minnesota, which is south of the Twin Cities, about an hour southwest. I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but right back here is the Minnesota River. So we're right on the edge of the Minnesota River Valley. So up here it's nice and flat and there's plains, and then it drops down into this big ravine, which is where the Minnesota River Valley is. Awesome. Well, I think our trail wraps around and cuts over to the other side. Let's go. I'm sure it's just some kind of farm equipment, some old farm equipment. It looks like some kind of medieval torture device. Yikes. I wonder what it was. You'll never walk alone when you're in nature. Words of wisdom from Donkey Kong? Maybe Donkey Kong was the nature representative before Smokey the Bear was. It's weird, I can hear the water flowing underneath the ice. It's making a weird sound. I don't know if you could hear that in the camera. It's kind of quiet. Alright. We've reached the bottom, obviously, of the ravine. And we're gonna hike down here for just a short bit, and then we're gonna be climbing back out. Okay, there's a bench here. Found a bench. I'm gonna stop and take a little break. I got some mini donuts, Some Hostess Crunch donuts. Love these things. And then we're gonna be getting off this trail and going on this loop that goes around this lake here. Awesome. All right, took a short break. Getting a little cold, so I'm gonna continue on. We're gonna go around the pond loop is what it's called. All right, for the record, this place is tons of cross-country skiing tracks all around. Look at that, 4 directions. Phew. If you're into cross-country skiing, it's a great place to come and explore. There's great cross-country tracks all over the place and some pretty good views. Okay, folks, back here at the car. This place is pretty great. I didn't even realize it had all this historical buildings and you know, stuff like that. Got great access to cross-country trails here. Some great views. But hold on, we're not done yet. I got another place to go, so I'll meet you at the next trailhead. All right, folks. Drove like 10 minutes away. Not even 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. And to the Minnesota Valley Recreation Area. There is a short little 1.5 mile hike. It's like a Y hike, so we're gonna have to hike out, back, out. And it looks like it's not very traveled, so we're gonna have to find our way. This is kind of neat. So I'm following along the trail, and there was one human tracks on it, and that turned off and went off into the woods. But there's still kind of a trail here, but it's all animals. It's like animals are using the trail. Look at this. Alright, this is tough. Kind of started getting into a little bit deeper snow. Yeah, there's no trail, so trudging through. But it's almost to the end. Getting ready to shoot some video. And I realized I had lost my camera. So I had to hike back and find the camera. Now I'm headed back to the end to find out what, if anything, is at the end of this trail. I have no idea, it just ends in the middle of nowhere. What could be at the end of the trail? Dun 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 dun! So this was a spot I followed. There was one set of footprints. I thought it was kind of odd. But there was one set of footprints coming out of here. And that's what I was following in for the trail. I thought it was kind of odd that it's only going out. Like, how did they get there? And then right here, they turned off from up there. They climbed all the way down from here and then went back. Like, what were they doing up there? Crazy. Hiking straight down the hill. Back to the Y here. The other way is about a third of a mile down and a third of a mile back. But I'm actually kind of pooped, so I'm going to skip it. Alrighty, folks, back here at the car. This is just a beautiful day today. It was a little cold and windy to start with at the beginning, but starting to warm up. It's heating up. So, Ney Nature Center. There were probably twice as many trails than I hiked today. I did, almost 4 miles. There's probably, I think the sign even said 12 miles of trails. So there were a lot of other trails there that you could explore. There were a couple times when I had to keep checking my map, make sure I was on the trail that I wanted to be on. But it's such a beautiful day. Such a beautiful landscape down in Minnesota River Valley here. Again, this is the Minnesota Valley Recreation Area. Again, down in the description, I'll put a link to the trail I do and the trailhead where I started at. So if you want to come check out these places yourself, which I encourage you to do. Get off the couch, get outside, and have a good time. Thank you everyone for joining me. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next week, right here on Happy Trail Backpacking.